What's up, buddies? Your buddies.
Howdy.
Wow, dude. I think your eyes are crossed. All right, so moving on. We're working on the clutch hydraulics on this thing. So this is what we got, okay? By the way, this is Brutus. Today is Saturday, and when does this truck have to go in front of the mayor of the United States of America, the president?
Next Saturday by 7:30 a.m.
Okay, and the only thing that we have left to do is both drive shafts.
That entire list of stuff over there is
all the electrical. Yeah, so we basically got today and then a couple evenings this week to do the intercooler mounts, voltage regulator, exhaust, mount this bed, wire the bed, finish wiring the interior, do the brake lines, mount the master cylinder, mount the hydrovac that feeds the master cylinder, fabricate the clutch mount, cut the bed fenders to clear the tires back here, fabricate the bracket for the transfer case levers, and build an intake. And then change the oil, get it running. Is there a drive shaft on there?
No. There's also drive shafts to do, bolt the seat in, put the floorboard in with a shifter.
Make the ignition switch work.
Make a throttle linkage. Like, I got some more
stuff.
Yeah,
no, this is cake. No, that's basically, like, each one of those is about a minute a piece. So if you add that up.
Yeah, 17 minutes.
Yeah, it's only 17 minutes worth of work, so. Right on. Well, I'm feeling pretty confident that you're going to be able to do this all by yourself.
Yeah, well, that's the plan.
No, we got Brian up here. He's down yonder working on the brake system. Steven's over there pretending to work, and I'm going to start on the clutch. So this is where we started at. In here, this is the plan, is to make a cantilever and be able to use the factory pedal to make the second gen hydraulics work. So what I've done is I've set the plate up here that bolts onto the floor just to get a little bit more accurate measurement of what the total travel is going to be, and it's 8 inches. That's how much throw this pedal has downward. So we know we have 8 inches there. We just went out to a second gen that was out in the parking lot in the back and laid under the dash and measured the total compression of the hydraulics, which is this piece. This is the master cylinder that feeds the slave cylinder and the side of the transmission. Well, the ratio from that big pedal to this has to be correct, otherwise it'll over-rotate it, or you end up with the pedal way off the floor, a whole host of things. And we really want it to be as like OE kind of a feel and function as possible. So we went out there, we measured how much stroke this hydraulic has, and it's about 1 3/8 inches, 1.5 inches. That's on a stock second gen all the way to the floor. Same hydraulics as this setup. This is a HD hydraulic set from Valair Clutch. That truck outside has a dual disc in it or a Valair single disc in it, and they use the same hydraulics. So we've got same. So we're looking for 1.5 inches of stroke here. So what that means to me is we need to build a lever, a little cantilever that has the right ratio. So I'm going to draw out basically on this piece of paper or on another piece of paper, I'm going to do the math, 8 to 1.5 inches. And that means that we're going to cut a bracket that does a 90 degree, and the ratio has to reduce the 8 inches of travel of the clutch pedal to 1.5 inches of travel to the hydraulics. So in my brain, that means that the short leg of this needs to be the same ratio to the long leg as 1.5 inches is to 8 inches. So got an idea to drill a hole in the clutch pedal, use a connecting rod down to our L bracket that's going to pivot on a bolt on top of the frame, and when we move that clutch pedal that 8 inches of travel, if we build our cantilever right, the 8 inches will equal 1.5 inches of movement. We can mount the master cylinder parallel to the ground and get 1.5 inches of stroke out of it with 8 inches of vertical movement out of the clutch pedal. So I'm going to draw some stuff up, do a little bit of math, and I'll fire the camera back up and show you if this is the dumbest thing you've ever heard someone talk about or if it works. All right, so here is my little lever that we're going to use. And I was just thinking about something earlier. I was talking about, well, we need to see, I need 1.5 inches and 8 and divide that and do all that. No, the funny part is that when I went to lay this out, it was like, to get the ratio right, I need 8 and I need 1.5 inches. Something I thought about though was that whenever you make one of these deals, if you make it exactly 1.5 inches and you drill a hole in the center, wherever the center line is to the center line of the pivot is what has to be 1.5 inches. So if you cut it 1.5 inches and you drill it here, you may only get 1.25 inches. You know, so this is going to have to be like 2 inches long or whatever, depending on where the center line of the pivot is, because where it pivots to the center line of each one of these is what the total lever ratio is going to be. So right here, I've got this about 1.75 inches. Added a little bit. It's really not enough to, when I drill a hole, for it to be 1.5 inches. But maybe if I took say and welded a piece of round tube to this and made this out of like 3/8 bar, because it's going to have to be pretty stout. That's a lot of leverage, you know, that's going to happen, especially on this long piece here. But if I took a sleeve and maybe welded it there and had a bolt on the top of the frame where it could pivot, I can make the center line of the bolt to the center line of the pivot on each one 8 and 1.5 inches, which is what we were after. But I just wanted to kind of show you that what we're going to do here is show how this works. I'm going to set this thing on this little tripod and reposition it down to here. And so imagine this lever as a piece of steel just chilling up there, and we've got a rod that connects this up to the clutch pedal, and the clutch pedal has 8 inches of total movement, and what we need is 1.5 inches. So if I have a rod connected here and this is pivoting here, then when I move this 8 inches, so let's go from perfectly vertical, and we're going to move the 8 inches. The reason I'm doing it vertical is because you know that 90 degrees to this is well, no, that's not 8 inches, that's more than 8. 8's like here, right? But the bottom line is that this piece over here moves the same distance from its center line depending on how far this moves. So if you have 8 inches of throw, this is 8 inches long, then when that moves 8, this can't help but move the same distance that it is, which is 1.5 inches. And you can see how that's going to work. So now we've got to basically find a way to mount this, and imagine our clutch hydraulic is connected to this lever right here with a pin through it. So this may sit about like this, on this being the frame, this being the firewall up here. The clutch pedal comes down with a rod connected, and it moves 8 inches, and we get 1.5 inches of stroke here, which is pushing in on the master cylinder part of the clutch hydraulics. And this is the kind of the theory behind what we're going to do on top of the frame to make this work. Alright, so making some progress over here. I'm actually not making any progress, but Logan took over with this idea and just rock and rolled. So he made a bushing for the bolt to pivot. This is the frame side, so that sleeve will hold this bolt, and you can start to kind of see how this thing's going to work. So it's going to sit up about like this, matching the angle of the clutch pedal, and as it comes down with a piece connecting this up to the brake pedal, as this moves down, you can see the stroke on that rod moves at the ratio that we need. So right now we've got to cut a piece to connect that up to the clutch pedal. I said brake pedal. Clutch pedal. And then we're going to mount this, tack weld this sleeve on there, and cycle it and see what happens. And we've got an adjustment that's here, so that gives us the ability to kind of ease up on it, hopefully, without issue. So on to the next step. Okay guys, so we got to bend the shifter because this thing hits the seat and that's neutral. So I've made a mark on this thing about right here, which should put this where this is way back. This shifter is up and out of the way. So we got to kind of bend it this direction. We're just getting enough clearance for it to clear, to go through the gears first, and then we'll see what we can do about making it look cool. So I'm gonna fire up the torch, try not to burn Steven's brand new seat, and I'm gonna get him in over on this side to hold this wrench where he can pull back towards us like this, and try to put that right at the apex of where that bend is gonna be, heat the crap out of this whole thing, and then bend this rod over. So I turn the heat down. There it goes. Easy, easy.
How far do you want me to go?
Basically vertical. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, go some more. Keep going. Right there. Just a sec. Okay. All right, you guys, it's Thursday evening. Steven's looking good.
Yeah, it's just, you know.
He's doing great. Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did, considering we have 29, 30 hours maybe till tomorrow night when it has to run, drive, stop, go, stuff, do everything. So we got, you know, we got plenty of work cut out still.
We do. It's a little disheartening thinking about all the stuff that's been done and the amount of stuff that's still left to be done, but we got a few cool things that we're going to show you, right? Y'all, we kind of tried to film all of it, so I'm just going to highlight a few of the things.
Yeah.
So we set the seat in here to make clearance for the shifter, and got it bent all around, and it looks ugly right now because we burned all the paint off of it. But first, second, third, four, five,
6.
yeah, 6 the wrong way. So that's all cool. Got a cool little Peterbilt shifter thing on there. Oh, we got our clutch stuff done. You can kind of see from in here some of the action. That cantilever business that's going on down there makes for a really solid clutch pedal in here. Let me show you. One of y'all
Steps loose, so be careful.
One of y'all push on that so we can catch some of this action. This thing's pretty gnarly, so let me move this little deal. We got to mount the reservoir somewhere, but this is what we got going on. Go ahead. Boom, shakalaka. Perfect. So a lot of business going on right there, but it works just like it should. Props to Logan for knocking that out. A lot of work. We've got our external mid-70s Ford regulator that we've got to wire up tomorrow. We're just going for the basics right now. If we can get brakes, stopping, driving, like if half the harness is hanging out of it and the battery doesn't charge, but it'll run and drive, that'd be really cool.
I got the brake lines done on the front and rear axle. Brake lines run down the frame rail. I have to go from the master cylinder to the hydrovac back to basically by the master cylinder. Then bleed them and we should have brakes, so that's not too far out. Electric fans need done, coolant needs put in it, oil needs put in it. We will not have our fuel tank in time, so we're going to do a gas can bomb
In
the
the
fuel door.
side locker of this thing, probably. Let me show you some of what he's talking about. So, what's this vacuum thing called down here?
That's the hydrovac.
Okay, so this is the hydrovac unit right here.
So,
And
I got to build a brake line that goes from here through the frame and across, and then another one also from here. They both tie into the driver's side over there.
one runs to the back, one runs to the front, I'm assuming.
Yeah, drive shafts are done. We'll have those tomorrow.
New rubbers,
All new rubbers, all new brake lines.
over to that, new rubbers there.
All down the frame.
All the way back to the back. We got the drums put together, the wheel bearings packed, the preload set on both wheel bearings, the lug nuts on, the tires are torqued.
Yep.
We got drive shafts to pick up. So we've got this I guess I'm gonna call it the primary shaft that runs.
That's actually the intermediate from what the drive shaft guy told me.
Okay, so intermediate shaft between the transmission and the transfer case, and then out of the bottom side of the transfer case to the rear drive, to the rear axle. Obviously, the front drive shaft is still in place and it's functioning, so we're gonna let that ride.
My transfer case levers for low and high, and for 2 and 4. Don't work.
We're not gonna have those.
So we're just gonna push these and lever these where they need to go,
and let them ride.
Now we'll have to come back to that.
But we'll have 2-wheel high, and that's all we need to drive into town because we're part of the Hill Country Rod Run this year, and it's pre-75. So I'm gonna take my 1210, my 71 that's at the house. We're taking Brutus. We've got a couple of our customers' trucks, that twin turbo Power Wagon, I think. The 6-wheel drive truck's going to be there, I hope.
The green Ford for sure, the High Boy.
Yeah, the High Boy we just did the Holly Sniper on. He actually just did a TV commercial for something the other day. That was kind of cool. He'll be there.
I have battery and cables that I need to do still. That's, And then we're going to try to finish the exhaust, which...
Yeah, so he's got a piece of oval here that ordered from Vibrant. It looks like it's going to clear perfect across here, and then ovaled around adapters here.
Yep, and then because we can only do so many adapters, this thing's going to get a plate with a 3-inch hole.
So because we're going to end up way out here.
Yeah, and that way, basically, all you're going to see is this.
Right.
So it'll look super clean.
Oh yeah, because we can narrow some of that up, but we're just gonna go.
We're gonna hide the ugly, basically.
Right. Okay.
And then
we got 2 stacks that are gonna run up across the back. You got a chunk of pipe over there? Cool. Let me back up here so y'all can see what the plan is.
I'm gonna go somewhere.
That's gonna 90 out, and that's gonna come up.
Somewhere around, I don't know the exact height, but.
Yeah, I mean that looks pretty tough right there.
Yeah, and it hides the gap between the bed and the cab.
Yeah. And it looks solid. So we got
perfectly even.
That side and this side, and the cool thing is there's room for the merge collector to land perfect in the middle, and come down. It's going to be
PTO drive shaft hole.
Really? Okay, cool.
The water pump on the fire tank bed, so it
was meant to be.
Meant for us to do this, yeah.
Right on. As far as motor stuff, we got some other stuff. Logan and I were talking earlier. You weren't actually here. Rob the gas pedal out of the 1st gen cab that's up on the hill, so we can clip the 2nd gen throttle cable, put the Z-bar deal, adapt all that, and make that work. So we're gonna try to do that tomorrow.
This will run though tomorrow.
For sure?
Guaranteed.
All right.
It literally needs oil, coolant, and fuel, and it would start right now.
Okay.
So once I get our gas can bomb hooked up, add some fluids, then we're gonna power probe.
It sounds to me like with low enough gears that I could kill the motor and use the clutch and idle it down without any brakes and make it get into town.
Yeah.
We're going. This is driving.
This is going.
Okay.
If I have to throw Logan's body out in front of the tires.
God darn.
He would sacrifice anything to make sure we're there. So.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't got it running, but I'm gonna push it down the hill and throw you under the tire.
Go ahead and get under the tire.
All right. I was gonna say dudes, but dudettes, whatever you are.
Yeah, dudeisms.
However you are.
Hey, also.
Hope you're ready for some downhill grind tomorrow.
We got these Richardson outdoor hats. They're like 50 UPF.
They look kind of dumb on my head, but a lot of stuff does. So I got a tuft of hair hanging out like.
It's mainly his head that looks dumb, not the hats. But we won't tell him that, right? Okay.
If I don't have a white-tailed doe tuft hanging out, I have a problem.
Yeah.
So
Pardon your hair.
I just won't. I refuse to wear it. No, I'm kidding. It's a little bit too shallow, I think.
I was going to say, go to bunkerbranding.com and buy a hat, is where I was getting at.
Yeah.
And a shirt, and a sticker, and a hoodie, because it's going to get cold soon.
Boom. Go check out Bunker Branding. We got some swagger up there. We've got a bunch of t-shirt designs that we haven't submitted. We're going to do that probably going to be the first of the year, maybe before Christmas. I don't know. We've got some cool ideas for some stuff, and a lot of people have asked for a shirt with like Brutus on it. We thought that'd be pretty cool. So leave a comment, tell me what you think about all that. Maybe we'll make a shirt that's got some little cryptic wording and a picture of Brutus or something on it. Okay, dudes and dudettes. Where are we? Because there's been a lot of stuff going on. I was working on Dan's 41 Caddy back there, so I've missed out on quite a bit of fun.
We've wired the bed.
Okay.
We've mounted the bed. We've built a throttle cable and a gas pedal, so multiple.
Right, I got a couple.
You got that?
There's a little bit of film I got of that earlier because we missed all of it. But we basically adapted a first gen pedal out of a donor cab out there.
Yep.
Spaced it off the floor 1/2 inch. Logan, you trimmed a little bit off the front side of the pedal to make it work, and then we took the factory pedal that pivots on the floor of the truck, tied it all together, used a 2nd gen throttle cable
from our donor where we got our
and we got like 95% throttle pull.
Yes.
So Steven still has an excuse when I lay the gap to this thing in my 1210 because he had 5% throttle up.
Yeah, I'm not worried about being gapped by that. But
bro, that 1210's got a 304, dude, with a 2-barrel.
Have a battery going in and battery cables.
Yeah, no big deal. We're not talking about that truck.
Here's our battery.
Yeah.
There's our cables.
Okay.
That's happening. We all the coolant stuff I believe is done, so I'm ready to add coolant.
Oh, we got a blinker switch, sweeter hitch in there?
Yep. Some of that Brian made progress on. That's kind of what that's going to look like, I think, with that
Some
trimmed in there
zip
also.
ties and stuff, okay?
Yep.
We just got to make it to town. And it's like
Logan's-
7 miles.
Logan's
Or so.
working on exhaust still. That's
Oh yeah, I saw a downpipe down here with some pie. Y'all like pie?
There's
Here you
lots
go.
of stuff going on.
Boom,
here.
boom, 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 boom. Why you got it all bent up like
I
that?
got a cross member.
Oh, okay. 10-4.
This will be the inlet to our stack.
Yeah, so we had to do oval pipe to make clearance to get between the bottom of the cab and the top of the frame. So then oval pipe to 3-inch round adapters. Those welded into a 4-inch 90 bell that he welded the seams up. This is like a Napa 90. Made a flange, so this is exactly 1/4 inch thick all the way around to push this down to 3-inch. Welded that thing up, and then we've got our stack that's going to come up here. We're really kind of sad because we were trying to do a pair of stacks, but we just don't have enough of the right pipe or plumbing to make it happen.
Need a couple more of these and another week.
Yeah. If this was Monday, we'd be good, but it's Friday, it's 6 o'clock, and we got to be up tomorrow at 5 and get the truck into town by like 6:30. So,
And we have a solid 2 or 3 hours left.
yeah. But the kids are here. They brought pizza. Mommies are here. Babies are here. Oh, my mom's here. Hey, Mom. Hey, baby. Hi.
We still have axle shafts to put in, brakes to adjust, brakes to bleed, fluids and everything.
And we still have not heard the motor run.
Haven't heard the motor run. That transmission, we knew the guy that drove the truck with 500,000 to Vegas.
Oh, it just has
20 years
that has a literally a Craigslist special paint job on it. Like,
Yes.
there's
So
nothing
the
been done
trans-
internally.
I mean, I opened it up so I could reseal it.
But we
And
rattle
the
canned it
parts
and
were there.
we were like, it drove, it must be good.
Yes.
Okay?
T-case, we know nothing about. It's with the rest of the truck.
Okay. Well, we're going to be in just 2-wheel drive 1-to-1, so as long as there's
Yeah.
a little bit of fluid and at
We have
least
to cut
a
these
bearing in
still,
there.
Too. That way we don't.
Oh
ruin the
yeah,
tires.
these are like going to rip the tires out. So we
So-
got to trim back. That's like 3 5/8 is all the room. And we have a few ideas, but I don't know. I think we're just going to lob it off for right now. Is the plan,
and then
which is kind of
come back
sad,
and,
but
and make it what we want eventually.
we got a cool idea for it. We just don't have time. So we're going to have to chop that up and come back and probably put our work back together and then modify it from there. So,
So yeah, just a couple more hours of stuff.
yeah, and stuff like that. All right, it's Saturday. It's the morning of, and I've only got 1:30 left on my little SD card, but we're priming stuff up out here. We're really close. Hopefully it's fixing to run. Here we go.
Okay. You got the gas? Need to up the idle?
I think it's got air in the lines still.
Okay. Here, I'll run the throttle and the deal.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Well, a couple of things. We didn't finish filming because we had a truck show to make it to, but you could see that Brutus was white smoking and kind of cackling around.
Yes.
So directly after that, because we actually stayed up all night.
Bare knuckle binder
till
came
about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Literally slept in the shop.
Eric Tessmer was in that video under the hood, and he came and brought his Coleman, and we stayed all the way until midnight, 1 o'clock, then came back the next morning really early.
Like 3 in the morning.
He slept and stayed the night in here working on his truck and stuff. And, well, we got Brutus going, but we drove, well, we didn't drive it to the event. That was kind of the sad part, was that we did all this work and all this crap to get this thing going, and all the way 99.5% in the 11th hour, and it was missing on cylinder number 5.
Yeah,
so,
well, several cylinders originally. Then we swapped injectors.
Right.
Then it went to like, okay, 2 cylinders.
Right, yeah, we got all the way down to where
Then
it
we
was cylinder
swapped
5 only.
brand new injectors, and then it got to our number 5, just no matter what we did.
We checked the delivery valve, we looked at everything, we rotated the deal, pulled the plunger down inside the barrel, and we're looking and couldn't see anything. And we had to pull the pump and send the pump off. So this was at the Hill Country Rod Run.
Yep.
In Bernie. And so we ended up just taking my International 1210 and met a couple of the
other trucks. The yellow Power Wagon, we built one best Mopar.
Yep, with the compound turbos, the 6-wheel drive Cummins truck.
Yep, that was cool.
That was super cool. The first award trophy that dude's ever won.
Yeah,
and
or
completely out of the blue. They they're like, and number 1 Mopar goes to
Power Wagon Head.
Yeah, Power Wagon Head. Can't think of his name right now.
Aaron.
And Aaron came running up. He looked like a little kid, man. He's like a school boy.
Yeah.
I was going to say schoolgirl, but I'll give him a little bit of credit. He was like, I won a trophy.
Yeah.
And so we were really excited. Really cool. Met a lot of cool people up there, but we didn't get to take Brutus. So we ended up pulling the injection pump off of it, sending it to our buddy Seth Farrell.
Yep.
Seth said, the pump looked pretty good on the inside.
Yeah, he said I forget his technical term, maybe the adjustment was out or something like that.
Yeah, it was
kind
like
of basic.
Like a barrel index, or hell, it could have just been some debris that we couldn't get to pass through. But he went through the pump, sent it back, the basic setup. It's got like 4Ks in it.
Yeah, I told him I don't need anything, okay? I got stock axle shafts that are 75 years old, so it's pin timed at 20 degrees with 4Ks and more fuel than I need.
Bro, Brutus shags. Brutus runs good. Like the biggest worry right now for Brutus is whether or not it's going to twist axle shafts.
What's the weakest link? Driveline, T-case from 1950, or axle shafts?
Yes. So we haven't taken y'all for a ride in Brutus just yet. We're going to, but that's the next video.
Yeah, you should just hear this.
Yes. That's a cold start. This is a verified cold start. About 40 degrees outside right now. We still got a little bit of wiring to finish up, but we got lights. Give me a blinker. You got a blinker? You got a blinker? I think we got some lights up here. Markers, headlights, come on, high beams, you know. We're blinking in high cotton, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And we actually drove this thing out to Goldberg's garage.
We even put it in our Christmas parade in Comfort, but we're too dumb that we didn't film it. And this thing won a trophy there too.
Yeah, we got 3rd place at the freaking Christmas parade in Comfort.
Yeah.
So we put a few miles on it since then. We kind of been slacking on the video stuff, but we got like 8 or 10 videos that are ready to go. We're just finishing up editing, trying to stay on top of them. 2024 is going to be our better year.
Yeah.
But I wanted to end this video by giving you a little bit of sound bite on what Brutus sounds like. So she's cherry.
Oh yeah.
12er's happy.
Oh yeah.
So basically, well, this is the end of this video, guys.
Yeah, and sorry the ending's a little off, but at least, you know, you got to see it run, and we did make the full video. The next video, I'm trying to get some new gauges. I've got one of my transfer case levers hooked up. I need to get my high and low levers, so we've got another video on this thing, button up the odds and ends.
And then we're going to take y'all for a ride, dude.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So we'll go take y'all out and shag on it a little bit, hopefully not break it.
Yeah.
But thank y'all guys for watching. Y'all stay tuned. We got a bunch more videos coming y'all's way. Choking on that diesel smoke. Till next time.
Adios.
Later.